Hello and welcome back to Growing Rural Ministries. I'm Reverend Megan, and I have the joy today of being here with Bob and Amy at Fairfax, Missouri. And we've just been having a meal around their table, and they've been sharing this wonderful story that just reminds me how important it is that we dedicate our work and our resources to the Lord and partner in what the Holy Spirit is doing. So, Bob, tell us your story.
Our story started back in 2007 when a Methodist men's group was looking for a mission project to do, and we come up with this Growing Hope project, where farmers raise crops to help people in rural areas raise food for themselves. We take the crops, anything raised agriculture like corn and soybeans, cattle, hogs, or anything, and we donate it. We sell the product, and we donate it to Growing Hope, and they send the money overseas to help small rural areas, farmers to raise crops, or to furnish fertilizer, helping with water projects and things like that. And in our first year of our growing project, we set aside 10 acres on some ground I had on the bottom of 46 highway. And when I first started planting, we went out and dedicated. We had a dedication to the field. When I went to plant it later on, I could feel a power as I went around the field doing the turn rows, and I knew something was going to happen to the field, but I thought it might be a drought. So when the corn came up, it got flooded twice, and it was raining and cold. And the corn turned brown. Look, I was going to have to replant the whole field. And it wasn't a very good start because on 46, everybody goes by and see what it's like, and I thought I was going to have to replant it, and it didn't look very good. So, but it warmed up, and the corn got up, growed real good. And in August, we had a real strong wind from the west, and it blew down thousands of acres of corn in Atchison County. And then this field here I had, it's 10 acres. It blew the corn around on three sides of it, flat, and the 10 acres of the corn stood. There wasn't a stalk broke over. There wasn't even the tassels were still standing in the field. Wow. So that was the night my mother-in-law died, and I didn't. My neighbor had checked the field, and he told me that he thought it was right to the row. Well, I didn't really believe him because I couldn't think anything like that could happen. But on Monday morning when I went out to check the field, I walked to the south end. I found the flags, and I walked to the north end. You can see along this area here, and I found the flag at the north end. And when I turned to look, the flags were right to the row. This is a trapezoid-shaped field, and the flags lined up with the corn that was standing. And it was a total shock to me. I stood there just a little bit when I checked the flags, and my hair on the back of my neck just raised up. Because I felt a power in the field, so I definitely got out of there. I wish afterwards I got down on my knees and thank God for what He did. Mm-hmm. And this project has done wonders to people, because it only takes about $10 per person to sustain a person overseas. Mm-hmm. So we've raised since 2007, we've raised probably $325,000 to help people raise their own food.
And Bob was telling me that this has consistently been his best producing land out of all of his acres over the years. And he hasn't missed the income off of it. It was his best land when he gave it and dedicated it. And just how important it is that we give God our first fruits and commit to let His Holy Spirit work. How awesome. Amy, there's something that when we were talking earlier that started to make you cry.
About the man who harvested?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, Bob has a neighbor, a friend, who was not a Christian at the time, and he's the man that found the field because we were busy. My mother had died and had a lot of other things on our mind. Mm-hmm. And from then on, after this field, what did he tell you, Bob? That he wanted to harvest?
And next spring he came out and said, I want to harvest this. I want to combine this field next fall.
And it wasn't easy for him to get his combine there because it couldn't get across the bridge from one direction, could it?
No.
So he went way around, and every year he would come and combine, bring the truck and combine the field. And he died about 5 years ago, and he was a believer. So sometimes I wonder if this didn't happen, that he would believe.
Yeah. And he called it God's acre.
Yes, he did. Plus all the other people it's helped too.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an awesome work of the Lord. So whatever your ministry is, whatever your project is that you're dedicating to the Lord, whatever resources you have that you are dedicating to the Lord, expect that God is going to do miracles in that faithfulness. Thanks for tuning in.